Imagine this. It's June 28, 1575. The sun is struggling to burn through the heavy morning mist that blankets the valley of Nagashino in Japan's Mikawa province. The air is thick with tension, a quiet so profound you could almost hear a pin drop. Birds are singing, but their songs seem hesitant, almost swallowed by the silence. The world smells of damp earth, wet leaves, and the sharp, metallic scent of polished steel. This isn't just any morning. This is the morning of a battle that will forever change the face of samurai warfare. On a small hill overlooking the eastern slopes, a young but fiercely intelligent daimyo named Tokugawa Ieyasu surveys his troops. Smoke from their campfires drifts upwards, a sign that they are preparing for the fight of their lives. His eyes move across thousands of ashigaru, the foot soldiers, their spear tips and matchlock rifles glinting in the weak sunlight. He knows that the fate of his clan, and perhaps all of Japan, rests on these men. Beside him, his seasoned general, Sakai Tadatsugu, murmurs orders, his voice steady despite the immense pressure. Every commander's face is a mask of focus, a mixture of anticipation and dread. The tension is a physical weight, pressing down on everyone. Across the valley, the forces of another legendary figure, Oda Nobunaga, are also getting ready. Nobunaga, a man known for his brilliant and often brutal innovations, has arranged his army in a way that defies tradition. Instead of relying solely on samurai prowess, he's built long wooden palisades, a simple but ingenious defense against the most feared military force in Japan, the Takeda cavalry. Behind these wooden walls, thousands of musketeers stand ready, their arquebuses aimed towards the enemy. The smell of gunpowder is already starting to mix with the fresh summer air. The soldiers are restless, their hands instinctively touching the hilts of their swords, their muscles coiled like tight springs. A strange, sacred quiet has fallen over the field, as if the land itself is holding its breath, waiting for the inevitable storm. And to the west, that storm is gathering. Takeda Katsuyori's famed cavalry is a sea of men and horses, a living embodiment of samurai power. These are the warriors everyone fears. Horses paw at the ground, their breath steaming in the cool air, hooves striking sparks from the rocky soil. Their riders, the elite samurai generals, are legends in their own right. They sit proudly on their war horses, their elaborate armor and banners creating a magnificent, terrifying spectacle. Confidence shines in their eyes, a belief forged in countless victories. They are the sons and grandsons of heroes, and they expect nothing less than a swift, glorious victory, just like their ancestors. They believe their charge will be unstoppable, a human tsunami that will wash away their enemies. The Valley of Nagashino itself seems to be a participant in this drama. The wind whispers through the tall grass, the leaves rustle in the trees, and the nearby Kiso River flows on, a silent witness to the unfolding history. Every soldier, from the lowest ashigaru to the most powerful daimyo, feels it in their bones. This day is different. The old ways of war, the codes of samurai honor, the disciplined charges that have decided battles for centuries, they might not be enough today. Something new is coming. But no one, not even the great leaders, knows exactly how this day will end. Suddenly, a single piercing note from a bugle slices through the mist. It's a signal. The sound echoes across the valley, and instantly, a wave of commands ripples through the armies. The ground begins to tremble, not from an earthquake, but from the thunder of war drums, the marching of thousands of feet. The collective heartbeat of two massive forces about to collide. It was a moment frozen in time. Those who survived and wrote about it later would say that it felt as if the entire world paused, holding its breath for the clash that was about to rewrite the rules of war forever. The Battle of Nagashino wasn't just a conflict between three powerful warlords. It was a clash of eras. On one side, you had the Takeda clan, the pinnacle of traditional samurai warfare. Their strategy was built around the cavalry charge, a tactic that had dominated Japanese battlefields for generations. A well-executed charge by elite, heavily armored samurai on horseback was considered almost invincible. It was a display of pure martial skill, courage, and a lifetime of training. The Takeda warriors were the best of the best, and they knew it. Their leader, Takeda Katsuyori, was riding a wave of past successes, confident that his legendary horsemen could break any defensive line. On the other side, you had the combined forces of Oda Nobunaga and Tokugawa Ieyasu. Nobunaga, in particular, was a visionary. He saw the potential in new technologies, especially firearms imported from Europe. While many traditional samurai looked down on guns as dishonorable weapons for peasants, Nobunaga saw them as the future. He didn't just give his soldiers guns. He developed entirely new tactics around them. This is where the wooden palisades came in. They weren't just a wall. They were a carefully designed system to slow down the cavalry charge and create a kill zone. Nobunaga's plan was revolutionary. He organized his musketeers, or arquebusiers, into ranks. The front rank would fire, then immediately kneel to reload while the rank behind them fired. Then the third rank would fire. By the time the third rank had shot, the first rank was reloaded and ready to fire again. This created a continuous rolling volley of gunfire, something that had never been seen on a Japanese battlefield before. It was the birth of volley fire, a tactic that would later be adopted by armies all over the world. He was turning his Ashigaru foot soldiers, who were often considered expendable, into a deadly, disciplined fighting machine. So, as the Takeda cavalry began their thunderous charge, they weren't just charging at a line of men. They were charging into a meat grinder. The horses, symbols of samurai power and nobility, were brought down by a storm of lead balls. The elite samurai, protected by a lifetime of training and the finest armor, were no match for bullets fired from a distance. The psychological impact must have been devastating. Imagine being a warrior who believes himself to be invincible, only to be struck down by an unseen enemy from hundreds of feet away. It was a brutal, terrifying lesson in modern warfare. The battle raged for hours. The Takeda, driven by their warrior code and refusing to accept defeat, charged again and again. And again and again. They were cut down by Nobunaga's relentless gunfire. The valley floor, once green and peaceful, was turned into a muddy, blood-soaked field of chaos. It was a horrifying spectacle, but it was also a turning point. By the end of the day, the legendary Takeda cavalry was virtually wiped out. Their power was broken, and their clan would never recover. The victory at Nagashino solidified the power of Oda Nobunaga and his ally, Tokugawa Ieyasu. It demonstrated in the most brutal way possible that the age of the individual samurai hero was ending, and a new age of massed infantry and firepower was beginning. Nobunaga's innovative tactics had triumphed over Takeda's tradition. This battle didn't just decide the fate of 3 clans. It set the course for the unification of Japan, showed that strategy, technology, and discipline could overcome even the most revered martial traditions. In the years that followed, Tokugawa Ieyasu would continue to build on this victory, eventually becoming the shogun and uniting all of Japan under his rule, ushering in an era of peace that would last for over 250 years. And it all started here, on this misty morning in Nagashino, when the thunder of muskets drowned out the thunder of hooves, and the future of Japan was written in gunpowder and steel. The Battle of Nagashino is a powerful reminder that history is always moving forward, and those who fail to adapt, no matter how strong or courageous, are often left behind. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back to feudal Japan. If you found this story fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the most pivotal moments in history. Let me know in the comments what other battles or historical events you'd like to see covered. Until next time, stay curious.